think this is it. I think this is it. All right, Facebook. Okay, I think I'm there. Have I done it? I think I'm live. Hello. I'm just having a look to see if I've managed to work out all the technical bits that I need for this evening. I think I have. Give me 1 second. I need to just make sure that we are all. Let me see. Why can't I find it? Why can't I find it? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I've just asked one of my team to help. So let me tell you that this evening I'm so excited, but I'm also using this fancy software, which I've never done before, so that I can show you my beautifully made slides that the lovely Natasha made for me. Hang on a sec, I'm just checking if I've been shared into everywhere. Give me 1 second, bear with me. Oh, hang on. Give me 1 sec. No, this is not going right. Okay, so let me just check to see if I've managed to work out. This is going to be fun, guys. Give me 1 second. Jade, hi. Have you shared me? Because okay, she shared in the group. Panic! I'm trying to keep it all calm and zen. I need to breathe. We're going to breathe soon. So hi, everyone. I am coming to you live through Zoom because I want to share my slides that the lovely Natasha made for me. So I'm going to be looking down at my phone to see your comments. So please keep them coming so that I know what's going on. So if I'm not looking at you the whole time, I hope that I'm going to keep my train of thought. Okay, so can you all hear me? Can you all see me? Got here. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jade. Hi, Chris. Hi, Sonia, Natasha, Beth, Holly, Lisa, Angela. Brilliant. Hey, Helen. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, hi, Angela, Kate. Phew, I thought I was going mad, not being able to find you live. I thought I was going to lose it, not being able to make sure that you could see me. Hi, Celia. Hey, Hazel, Natalie, Darlene. So excited. I can't believe it. Is this how I start, everyone? Like, I can't believe it, but I can't. We are here by the masterclass. That means we've done 3 full days of the challenge. And I just want to take this moment to honor you all. Absolutely. I am so grateful that you've joined the challenge, that you've jumped in feet first, that you are in it. You're all in. It's like that little boom emoji. Yeah, I often think in emojis. It's a fist pump. But I am so grateful that you gifted me with your time, because time is so precious. It's one of the most precious commodities that we have the least of. So I am so grateful. Please let me know how you are. I'd love to know how your day's been. Tell me how the vegetables. We're on vegetables today. Tell me how your vegetables went. Oh, thanks, Rachel. Boom. Who managed all their veggies today? How did it go? How do you feel? What did you manage? Let me know before we jump into the masterclass. And if you are on my Facebook business page and you're thinking, what am I talking about? We've been running a hormone balance challenge for the last 3 days, and we've had tasks to do every day. And our task from yesterday was 8 portions of veggies. 8. So let me know, how did it go? So I can see your comments on here, please. Oh, great. Hazel was having a veggie quinoa paella, which she says was amazing. Amazing. Emma, me, got them all in. Fantastic. Katie, that smile, is that for the veggies or is that a high? Tammy says veggie fail, but I did better with fruit. Okay, that's fine. There's no fail. So that's another word that we don't want to use when we're talking about food. There's no fail or success or anything like that. It's just making the best choice of what we have in front of us at that time is also extremely key. So Beth had a great day with two best friends, had veg for lunch with greens, didn't manage 8 though. That's okay. Karen, I did it. Couldn't believe it. Had Thai curry with 5 veggies in, plus veg soup and veg snacks. Woo, fantastic. Amazing day, says Nicola. 8 portions done. Felt so good all day. Amazed on portion size. So just to recap on that, a portion of veggies is 80 grams or 2 fistfuls of leafy veg or a fistful, like a big fistful of chunky veg. So yeah, I mean, it adds up on the plate, doesn't it? Rachel got in 9, Claire got in all 8. Leslie managed all veg and was an eye-opener. Not been eating nearly enough veg. I tell you what, that it's so easy to do. Modern life is busy, 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 busy. We're on the go all the time, and sometimes we don't manage to get the full quotas in, but that's okay. That's what this challenge was about. It was about showing you what is possible, what the portion sizes look like, how much we should be striving to achieve. So I think the government guidelines haven't changed yet. It's still 5 portions that include veg and fruit, but I really think we should be aiming for at least 5 portions just veg and more, 5 to 7, 8 portions of just veg a day where we can get them in. Leslie says manage all, oh, read that one, sorry. Helen, tried my best, period makes me queasy. 3 fruit maybe, 3 to 4 veg. That's great. And I know when you're on your period and you're just not feeling great, if you're not having a great time on your period, it can be worse when we trying to think about what veggies to have as well. And sometimes, you know, eating a lot of veg can make you feel queasy if you're not feeling great. Usha managed only 5 portions. Claire, sorry, couldn't find you. Hey, love, glad you're here. Jade says she can't wait for this to get started. Okay, so I need to hurry up. Yes to the veggie challenge. Katie, tomato and spinach and scrambled egg for breakfast, salad and loads of veg. Fish, carrot, hummus, and roasted veg and chicken for dinner. That's amazing. That's fantastic. So we got Celia 6, Helen. Hi, Helen. Only managed 5. Catherine, not sure I hit 8, but had fruit and berries. This sounds amazing, amazing. Hi, Daphne. We were actually in school together, Daphne and I. So we were in high school together. We were really good friends and extremely naughty. Sonia replying to Beth, that's such a good question. Guys, we're doing Q&A at the end. So we had that thread going, and I just want to show you. I've printed out. I don't normally print, but I just thought I didn't want to get confused and lost. There's loads of questions. I hope you got your question in on the Q&A thread. We're doing those at the end. We're doing them at the end. Okay, so I want you to just tune in to how you're feeling post those 3 days. I mean, it's just 3 days. It's just 3 days that we've had. No, we've been breathing. I hope we've all been breathing. We're going to do a little breathing session together to kick off the masterclass as well. So we've been doing the breathing, 4-7 breathing, 4 times a day. We went sugar-free for 48 hours. Let me know how my sugar and coffee ladies are doing. And we've also added in 8 portions of veg. That is your foundations for hormonal balance. And I am so happy that so many, that you did it. You did it with so little prompting from me as well, which is amazing. So that's fantastic. Hey, Susie, Ruby, Lorna. Lorna, you're feeling so much better. Fantastic. Ruby, feeling so good today. Lots of energy and not so bloated. Yay. Amazing. I'm so happy. Hazel's still awake. That's what I like to hear. And then more motivated, especially with this group, says Holly. did the breathing watching the sunrise this morning, says Rachel. Oh, my word. Miranda says, my weight is 1. I don't know what that means, love. Let me know. Lorna, feel more happy, a little bit sluggish at times, though. Okay, so we are still balancing. So what we want to do is we want to balance the blood sugar levels. And I'm going to go deeper into the reasons why at the moment. Sonia says she'll be sharing the 4-7 breathing technique with anyone who will listen. You and me both. You and me both. That's amazing. A portion of veg is 80 grams. Yes, that's right, Rachel. I was doing amazing. And then my little one surprised me with gluten-free brownies and I couldn't say no. That's Janine. I get that. I get that. Who was it that their little one came home with a Happy Meal or a McDonald's breakfast? Remind me, if you're on the call, let me know. Because I would have also just enjoyed that time with my child. That's lovely. So this is what it's all about. It's about finding this balance. It's not about perfectionism. It's about consistency. And on that note, I really, really, really think it's time for us to jump into the mastermind. Who's ready? Who's ready for the mastermind? Let me know. So how it's going to work is I'm going to go through the mastermind. Some of it will be repetition for what we've done already, but the best way to learn is by hearing it a few times. And then after that, I'm going to be telling you about my super exciting project. And then after that, we've got a live Q&A, but I better get moving because we don't want to be here till 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I've got all these questions. Good, you guys are ready, ready, ready. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I'm going to share the slide screen now. If it all goes wrong, I'll be back. I've practiced so many times. My poor husband, because I've been like, make it work. So hopefully it's all just going to go swimmingly. Okay, here we go. Let me know. View full screen mode. Oh, it would help if I started it at the beginning. Okay, let me know if you can see the slides. You can still hear me. I'm in the corner as well. I should be on the screen with you. So just let me know that you can see, hear, and everything, please. And then we're going to get started with the mastermind. I'm so excited. Remember, Q&As at the end. Yay, it worked. Fantastic. Technology is amazing, and a big shout out to Kerry, who's part of the team, for showing me how to do this the other day. We had a little techie sesh. Okay, what am I going to be talking about? Amazing, let's do this. My tried and tested method for balancing your hormones. It comes with a warning. You'll get your mojo back. So ladies, when we started the challenge, I got you to really tune in to how you were feeling. And I hope you've been carrying on with the body scan as well, because that's going to be one of your big tools, because you can start really noticing different symptoms come in while they're just still little niggles, before they become loud shouts. And using that breath and stress test as well, you can really keep tuning in to how you are reacting to stress. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take you through a little story again. And I want you to just tune in to see if you can relate to any of these again. And give me hell yes, give me amen, sister, give me some hearts. Let me know if this is you. It's a story you've heard before, but I want you just to tune in again to see if anything else comes to mind that you think, oh, that's me. It's going to be a much quicker version. So let's go. So once upon a time, there was a little girl as cute as a button. And today I really expect you all to be able to relate to that one, and keep just letting me know that you guys are still there by sending some love my way, because I'm going to keep checking. Okay, so she started her periods at such a young age. She was so young, she thought she pooped out of her front bum. It was a terrible affair from the beginning. Period pains that took her breath away, caused her to vomit. She just felt horrible. It never got any better. It never regulated. It just felt horrible, horrible, horrible all the time. And so as her age increased, so did her waistline. And she felt like she was on every single diet under the sun all the time. She never, ever was able to find that place where she was happy with her weight, where it stabilized, and where she was feeling really good. She's tried every diet under the sun. She had migraines, she had constipation, she had diarrhea, she was bloated, she had pimples, her hair was falling out, her hands were cold. She had terrible insomnia, but insomnia to the point where she was awake all night, and then during the day she had to drink loads of coffee and eat loads of sugar to keep her going in the day. So let me know, is anyone can anyone relate to that? I can see Sonia can relate. Oh, the slides aren't moving yet, guys. I'm just telling you a little story. Let's see if you can relate. She was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome and was told to go on the pill because the pill will fix any hormonal problem that you have. And she was also diagnosed with hypothyroidism and was put on thyroid replacement therapy. She didn't take the pill for very long because it made her feel like crap. Can anyone relate to not feeling great on a pill? She took thyroid replacement therapy. It made her feel a little bit better, but not a whole lot better. She managed to get her periods under control because they used to be missing either for 6 months or for 90 days at a time. So she managed to start menstruating regularly at about 35 days, but she struggled to fall pregnant, and then she struggled to stay pregnant. So can you guys relate to that? The thing is, ladies, as I've said so many times before, so many of us are going through the same hormonal symptoms. I see this in my clinic time and time again. I see this all the time with more ladies coming to see me every week. And I keep asking myself, like, are we speaking about it more, or are these conditions increasing? And it's twofold. And I've said this before, it's twofold. One, we're finding our power as women. We're smashing those taboos. We're talking about it. We're talking about periods, about bleeding, about libido, about vaginal dryness, about hot flushes, about pimples, about feeling like absolute crap when we do. And the research is showing us that these conditions are on the up. Again, are they on the up because we're actually starting to diagnose them a bit earlier, or are they on the up because they're on the up? And the answer for that, again, is twofold. So you see where I'm going with this. So if this is you, trouble sleeping at night, spotty or acne, moody, irrational, angry, feeling exhausted, low libido or no libido, sugary cravings throughout the day, symptoms affecting relationships, bloated and constipated, unpredictable, heavy, painful, erratic periods, know that although it's a horrible, horrible, horrible time, and that you go through these periods of just having to just carry on with life and not being able to take a moment to just stop. I mean, I say this quite often. In years gone by, if we had a headache, we took to our beds. Now we are in pain, we'll have pneumonia, and we'll still go to work. So life is just so busy at the moment. So many of you are saying yes to it all. You can relate to these things, and you're going through it. And often you're going through it and your symptoms are not heard, or your symptoms are dismissed. So let me know if this can relate, if you can relate to this, or you don't get heard, your symptoms are often dismissed, or you feel you cannot talk about them because we've been taught from a very young age through all the media, and this has come down through the generations, that as women we need to just keep looking nice, turning up, smiling. In days gone by, there were those adverts for, oh, when your husband or your partner gets home from work, make sure you put your face on, best smile, and you just carry on. But maybe you want to be in bed, curled up with a hot water bottle because your stomach's hurting. So what are we going to do about it is the big question. Let's see, people can relate, sugar cravings, fertility. I totally get that. I was that girl that we were describing earlier, that one that so many of you can recognize, that so many of you think, oh God, that was me, that's me. Are you talking about me? Sometimes when a new client is sitting in front of me and we're doing their health history, I'm just like, have I seen you before today? Like, have you come back? Because the stories are so similar, the details are just different. So, I've been through it. There I was, as cute as a button. There I was at possibly my heaviest, 20 plus kilos more. And then I managed to get my body to be to find this balance again. You know, the thyroid, everything was just playing a role in how I was feeling. And then we had our beautiful baby girl, almost 3 years ago now, our little rainbow baby, Isabella. And I couldn't have done all of this if I didn't make the changes that needed to be made. And I say that with such conviction and such passion. I promised myself today I'm not going to get all emotional, but I do, because I just want, because I've walked this road, I completely know how it feels, and I just want us to feel better. I want you to get your mojo back. So many similar threads were coming through in the group, talking about how you need your energy back and you just need your mojo back and you don't feel like yourself. And I can totally relate. And just by saying, you know, you're not alone, that gives us confidence and hope that we can make some changes, or almost makes us feel quite not comfortable, but makes us feel a little bit better, that it's not just us, that it's not all in our head, that we're not actually losing our marbles. And by bringing together this group, ladies, I've just like, I love you guys. It's just, I keep saying, put a group of women together and magic happens. And look at what we've done in such a short space of time, this community of the sisterhood that lifts you up. And there's so much that we can do together and on a consistent basis that's going to help us feel better. And I'm not saying that just by cutting out sugar for 3 days or 2 days, or reducing your caffeine or your alcohol, or eating more veg and breathing is all you need to do. And then tomorrow you're going to be skipping through the fields. Suddenly I've got the Sound of Music in my head with Maria skipping through some fields. Please tell me you've seen that. But it's not just going to be like that. We have to work consistently at it. It's a lifestyle change. And with making those changes, if you do need the medication, if you do need to take thyroid replacement, for example, remember I said that when I was given thyroid replacement, I felt a little bit better. And I was like, shouldn't I be feeling amazing? Shouldn't my hair stop falling out? Shouldn't I stop being cold all the time? But it was when I made the lifestyle changes, the ones that we're going to talk about more right now, that's when the biggest changes happen. That's when that thyroid replacement therapy worked even more, because it had the right environment to do so. Oh, okay, the heels are alive, says Beth. Yes, they are. Okay, why do I think that this is happening to us? I think that as women, we don't understand enough about how our bodies work, and that's not a criticism at all. That is merely an observation, because I sure as hell didn't know. I didn't even really know what a period was. I just knew we had a bleed if we were lucky. I just knew that it was horrible, and it made me want to throw up, and it was clotty, and it made me curl on the floor from pain, and that's all I knew about it. And then I knew that all I thought was all that aim of that period is for you to bleed. And you know, it's not. The main aim for your period is ovulation, whether you choose to reproduce or not. That is what your body is trying to do during your reproductive years, month in and month out, is get you to ovulate. We don't know enough about our hormones, because I feel that as soon as your period starts, that's where the discussion around hormone ends. Oh, you've got your period. Oh, you're moody. It's your period. You bloated. It's your period. You're feeling low. Oh, where are you in your cycle? Is your period about to start? That's what I feel, and let me know if you agree. That's what I feel happens, like as soon as your period starts, and it's just like, that's your lot in life, you know. Everyone has the same, like it's painful, that's just how it should be. No. Our period, our moods, these monthly changes, we cycle as women, past the menopause as well, we still have hormones. Just because the ovaries aren't producing those high levels of hormones, the rest, there's other hormones going on in the body. Your thyroid always produces, your stress hormone always produces, insulin is there. You know, we have estrogen and testosterone coming from other places, so it doesn't just stop. You don't walk through the hormonal pearly gates of the menopause and then your hormones just all stop. We have hormones going all the time, and that's just some of the hormones. We have other hormones, satiety and hunger hormones. All of these play a big role in how we feel on a daily basis. So I'm going to give you a little bit of hormones 101 again. And this is for those that have been on the first call with me for the challenge. This is a recap for everyone that's joining me on my Facebook page that hasn't heard this. I just want you to just take it in for a moment. So here goes. I want you to think of your hormones as a symphonic orchestra conducted by your endocrine system. And this endocrine system is made up of different glands and organs, hypothalamus and pituitary in the brain, your thyroid in the nape of the neck, your adrenal glands on your kidneys, your pancreas, the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys, your pancreas, and your ovaries, which I heard someone refer to as lady balls, and I still can't remember who that was, but that's brilliant, are lady balls or testes in men. And although they seem unrelated, much like the instruments comprised in orchestra, they are 100% interconnected and related, and they need to talk to each other. And what they do is they send out these chemical messages, these powerful chemical messages, these messages that we should celebrate and not dread, these chemical messages called hormones, and they affect everything from head to toe. They govern everything in the body from head to toe, and that's really important to remember. So when we talk about hormones and how they work, they completely work in synergy. So that's where I like to use my analogy of a tube map or a train map. You know, that is meticulously worked out. Every train knows where it needs to go, how fast it needs to go, what station it's at needs to get to, what platform it needs to go to. And if one train is too fast or too slow or is not there at all, it's going the wrong way on the wrong platform, then it throws the rest of the system out. And that's how, very simply put, of course, that's not a scientific explanation, but that's how hormones function. They work on a feedback loop. They listen to each other. They need to know what the other one's doing, exactly like that whole system of the railway track. And imagine when you are standing on the platform and a train comes whizzing past, doesn't stop, isn't there, the platform's moved. How do you feel? You feel anxious, you feel irritable, you're angry, you're confused, you don't know where to go, you can't think. What are you meant to be doing? You're panicked. And that is pretty much how we can feel when our hormones aren't balanced. But the key to remember is that it doesn't have to be a major imbalance for you personally to feel the effects. I'm going to say that again. It doesn't have to be a major imbalance for you personally to feel the effect. And why is that? That's because we are all biochemically individual. And even if you fit into a PCOS diagnosis box or endometriosis diagnosis box or anything like that, it doesn't mean that all those symptoms that everyone has will affect you. And it doesn't mean that you wouldn't have other symptoms as well. So does that make sense to everyone? Does that make sense? Let me know if you guys are following me. I'm about to switch over screens finally, moving on a little bit. So let me know if you can hear and see and if you're following. So I wanted to tell you a few little stories about some lovely ladies that I've had the privilege and pleasure of working with in clinic. They came to me all for completely different reasons. Some of them didn't even know that it was why they were coming, or that they had that they were going to feel these different benefits from the work that we did together. Some of them, when they first came to see me, for example, Lauren, she didn't tell me half the things that were going on for her. It was only after I did a whole lot of digging in that information gathering session and in sessions after that as well, that we started to uncover the different layers of the onion. So if we look at Elizabeth, for example, she came to me, she had no energy. She was counting calories, and trust me, I've been there. I'm from that absolute generation of fat-free everything and counting calories. She was exercising quite excessively, and she had total insomnia. She was just feeling horrible. Oh, and she was bloated. I remember that so clearly. She was so bloated and really uncomfortable. And so when we started working together, we started making some really simple changes, and we worked together on these changes. And she had tried every kind of diet under the sun, but it was the fact that we were doing things in small increments, helping her to change her lifestyle, that she saw the biggest change. And she actually says, so she said she has more energy, she doesn't count calories, she's sleeping better, she's eating more, And now when she moves, she's comfortable in moving, and she doesn't do that excessive exercise. She does what's right for her body. And then Lauren, for example, she came to me post-pill. We're still working together. Her skin, she was worried that her skin was going to break out again. She sent me a message a while ago saying that, you know, she hasn't had such clear skin since her teenage years, or other than being on the pill. So again, you know, it was making these changes. She's worked so hard. She doesn't have pimples now. She's got more energy. Her digestion's much better. She can sleep at night and she wakes up refreshed. And she says her brain fog has also cleared. So, but these are real ladies that have had such great success because they've made some changes, and they've made the changes and they were willing to invest time in their own health as well. And then lastly, we've got Harriet, still working together as well. And she was suffering from terrible stress and insomnia, hormonal issues. And for her, again, the first thing was that her skin was so much clearer. She had so much energy, and that she was able to manage her stress better. She often messages me to say, that she's doing her breathing exercises. I'm just going to have a look. Sounds. Can you guys hear me well? Let me know. I've just seen a few people saying that they can't hear well. So let me know if you can hear me. I'm not quite sure what I'll do if you can't. Don't even know where my earphones are, if that will help. But let me know so that I can sort it out, please. And Rianne, no, I'm not in the bathroom. So that could have been an option. It crackles. Fine here. Yes, no issues. So okay, I'm going to plow through. I think it's because I'm going through Zoom. Okay, Jay can hear. I can hear fine. Okay. So what do I feel is causing these hormonal issues, and what can we do? So these are the steps that I use in clinic. These are, and this is obviously, I'm not going through a detailed health history with you here. We're not doing this as a individualized plan for each of you. These are the foundational groundwork that we do. I do it in stages. If you have a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, we need to look at managing that stress. And I'm going to ask you a pop quiz question here. What do you think is the first thing we need to do to start managing stress? Who can tell me what they think that first thing that we can do? It's free is another thing. It's easy to do. What do you think we can do to manage stress? Okay, so what does stress do in the body? So when we stress, it doesn't have to, stress comes in different forms, but it elevates that cortisol, and it's the cortisol hormone that I'm looking at in particular here. And again, I'm not talking about Cushing's really high or Addison's disease really low. I'm talking about a dysregulation in cortisol. When we have that elevated cortisol, and that can be from looking at blue light till late in the night. Sorry, I've done this to you for 4 nights now. It could be your perceived stress, it could be actual stress that's happening, it could be inflammation in the body, blood sugar dysregulation, and circadian rhythm dysregulation as well. All of those things can cause stress in the body. Let me see here. Okay, so 4-7 breathing. Breathe, sleep, drink water. Great, yes. So the breathing and understanding your triggers, Genevieve says, absolutely understanding those triggers. So, but what can we do to reduce our stress and anxiety? The first thing that we can do is in the morning when you wake up, try and get some natural light. Go outside without sunglasses on so that you're getting natural daylight. I know in the Northern Hemisphere, especially in the UK, I think our sunny time is over for a while, but where you can get enough daylight, even if it's gloomy out there, get out there a little bit. And then the second thing is your 4-7 breathing, as we said there. The third thing that you need to do is you need to understand, like if you have any pains and niggles and anything like that, I'd really encourage you to go get that seen to. So if your back's sore, if you've pulled a muscle, all of those type of things that are keeping you up at night as well, go and get those seen to. So, and also what we really want to do is we want to do that 4-7 breathing 4 times a day. minimize your blue light exposure. So that means that at night you're switching off those electronics at least 2 hours before you go to bed, and dim the screens as well. You can also get those, the glasses. Mine haven't arrived. I ordered them. I wanted to actually be on here with my fancy glasses to show you. You can block out the blue light, so that's another thing. And then also get to bed earlier, because if you've got stress and anxiety and you're staying up at night, what is it going to do? If we start looking upstream, we need to think what else could be happening. If you're not sleeping well and you don't have focus, then, well, if you're not sleeping well, you won't really have focus the next day. But what could cause you to not sleep well is that elevated cortisol. The elevated cortisol level, because cortisol goes up in the morning, comes down in the evening, and melatonin kicks in. You're not getting your good dose of melatonin for that deep, restful sleep. And yes, we need more than 3 hours sleep a night. So get off of the internet. I am a sucker for reruns of really bad TV. I did 90210 a few months ago. It's normally when I'm the most stressed that I start watching these things. I'm currently on Gilmore Girls, giving you all my dirty secrets here, which I actually quite enjoy, so I don't mind saying it. But that can keep you up at night. Why should you sit there watching that on the box? Go to bed. So what else can we do if you're not sleeping? So one thing is that 4-7 breathing. It's minimizing the light. So we can also try like chamomile tea or viridian tea, L-theanine supplements, or magnesium supplements could also help. I'd really encourage you, because I get a lot of these questions about supplements. That's why I'm talking about it here. I really encourage you to work with someone that knows. You know, even if you have one-off session with them, they can help you put plans together. But magnesium bath flakes are quite easy to use. You can pop them in the bath, relax in the bath. Magnesium is used in over 300 processes in the body, and it's one that we are quite deficient in. But the other ways to get magnesium in is dark green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds, and making sure that you eat balanced meals as well. So going back to those foods, way to also help with cortisol is to keep your blood sugar balanced, which we spoke about at length, but I am going to speak about it a bit more, because if we don't get enough sleep, remember we're going upstream now, maybe you feel hungry all the time. Where are my ladies that feel hungry all the time? I used to joke that I was like, give me a sec. I've got a Lucy coconut jar tonight. I used to joke that I was like Garfield, and I just wanted to stick my face in a tray of lasagna and I could just eat it all. I didn't have this off switch. I didn't feel like I was full at any time. It used to take a lot to get me full. So who can relate? Who feels hungry a lot? Who feels like they just don't get full? You know, what can be going on there? It could be you have a thyroid imbalance. You know, we want to be checking that. We could just not be balancing our blood sugar levels optimally either. But if we go back to the sleep, when we don't get enough sleep, that cortisol is elevated, so that dysregulates our blood sugar levels. So that can lead us into a blood sugar low. So the cortisol is affected, but also it affects our ghrelin and our leptin. That's our hunger and our satiety hormones. So it throws those out during the day, and then the next day we just like want to eat all the sugary, high energy foods as well. Another thing that could be happening is a total regulation of blood sugar levels. That means that you are eating foods that spike your blood sugar, and then the insulin comes in, takes out that blood sugar and overcompensate, so it drops it back down again. So that could also be happening. What are the key things that we can do here? We're looking upstream. Make sure we get a good night's sleep, work on our stress. So while we're already doing that, the next step is to make sure we're balancing our blood sugar levels. So how do we do that? What does that mean? We need to have meals that, I'm sorry, I just got thrown off because I keep seeing that people saying that there's no volume. Don't know what else to do. Just going to keep going. If anyone else is having an issue, let me know. Protein with every meal or snack, and that doesn't mean that you eat like Obelix eating a wild boar. It could be vegetable sources of protein or vegetarian sources of protein as well. Making sure that you have enough good fats with your meal and also enough veggies and fiber. That's going to really help to balance your blood sugar levels. Another thing that could also be that's making you feel more hungry, especially if you're actively seeking out the carbohydrate-rich foods. It could be that you're having a little bit of an imbalance with your estrogen is slightly lower. So when that happens, because estrogen is really important to modulate serotonin, so when that happens, our bodies actively seek out carbohydrate-rich food because that helps with the production of serotonin and melatonin. Okay, do I have earphones nearby? I'm actually quite proud of myself that I have earphones nearby. I'm going to try it with earphones. It might make it worse. Sounds tinny. Need more fats. Okay. You know what? Let's see. Let me know if you can hear me now. Video has frozen. Okay, can you guys hear me? I can hear fine. Okay, good. So you can hear. Can you still hear? Worse with headphones. I can't hear you now. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Some's gone quieter, too quiet now. Okay. I'm so sorry. Oh, so sorry, guys. Do you know what? I'm going to have to breathe in a minute because I'm starting to feel a little bit like, oh, my cheeks have gone red. Why did I put on a long sleeve top? I'm wearing a dress. Why did I put it on? Okay, let's get back to it. Hopefully you're going to hear me. Hopefully this is going to go well. So always hungry. What could that lead to though? Because we may be looking at the wrong foods to fill that. We're going for the quick energy. The body is amazing. It keeps thinking about how can I get this quick energy. It might lead to excess belly fat or belly fat that won't shift. Who can relate to that? Who can relate to just thinking, I was about to swear there. Who can relate to just thinking, I just can't get rid of this belly fat. I just can't get rid of this belly fat. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a big one that people come to see me. Okay, thank you. I'm going to try and sit forward. Okay. This is a big one that people come to see me about. That's what brings them through the door. That's the first thing that they come. They think, oh, I just want to get rid of this belly fat. They're exercising excessively. They're not sleeping enough. They cutting their calories. Crazy cutting of calories. Who can relate? So Jade says she wakes up with a six-pack and looks 6 months pregnant by bedtime. So that's probably from bloating. Again, that's the other thing. Sometimes we have a terrible bloating problem and we think it's just belly fat and then we're killing it in the gym. Killing it in the gym. I see so many ladies that are exercising excessively. They don't have a period. The period is gone. It's the exercising and cutting back on calories because they are so focused on that belly fat. And what the media has shown us is that if you have belly fat, you do crunches and lunges and cardio, and you cut back your calories, and you have low fat everything. And that's just a recipe for hormonal disaster. That's a recipe for a hormonal storm. We need good fats. We need to exercise. We have an exercise sweet spot, not too much, not too little. We can talk about that in a moment. I think I had a question on that. Sometimes we can go overboard with counting calories because that's what we've been told is really good for us. But this belly fat, if we start looking at our stress response, if we start looking at balancing those blood sugar levels, if we start eating foods that are in a more balanced way, so enough good fats, enough protein, enough of those veggies, exactly what we spoke about before during the challenge, that's when we can start seeing a reduction in weight, but a sustainable reduction in weight, not something that happens just like that. And before you look, you're buying an even bigger size trousers because you've put the weight back on plus. And trust me, I have been there. I was on every single diet under the sun. So I speak from experience. I've been through anorexia, bulimia, obsessive compulsive overeating, and binge eating disorder. So I get it. I get both spectrums, both sides of the spectrum. When you are getting your body, and we underestimate the power of eating this way, and we underestimate the power of relaxation and sleep. When you start doing that on a consistent basis, plus the right amount of exercise, that's when we start seeing the most change. Does that make sense? Amy says, why are the media telling us all of this? Because it's a massive money-making industry. So, you know, and another thing, if you are putting on weight, you know, and you feel like, look, the way I'm eating, there's no way I should be putting on weight. And it's not because you've cut your calories right back, because you're eating a good portion, you're sleeping enough, you are getting enough exercise. Then we need to start looking at what else could be going on. Then we need to start looking at, because you maybe have a slightly thyroid imbalance. And I'm not saying that you're hyperthyroid, I'm saying it's subclinical. So where it's not in the optimal range, it's on the lower end. So then we start really investigating those things as well. That I would encourage you to go and speak to your GP about. But the importance of getting good nutrients in, I like to think of it as Bitcoin. So what do we know about Bitcoin? No one's ever seen a Bitcoin, no one's ever touched a Bitcoin, but it's really valuable stuff, and we trade in Bitcoin all the time. So that's how nutrients work in the body. When we eat something, we don't look at an apple, or we don't look at anything, a piece of broccoli, because that's mainly what we cook in this house at the moment. It's just daughter loves it. We don't look at that and think, oh, there's the fiber, there's the iron, there's the vitamin C. We don't do that. We just eat the vegetable or eat the food. Our body breaks it down. Our body is amazing, breaks it down, and it takes out all the nutrients, and it trades in the nutrients. Nutrients are our Bitcoin. So if we want to start seeing a reduction in all these things that we're talking about, and we want to start feeling better, then we need to make sure we eat enough Bitcoin. I hope that made sense. The real question, ladies, is it your hormones, or are you just a moody cow? And trust me, there was a long time in my life where I was just an absolute cow all the time. I felt like I was PMSing the whole time. And of course, this is a joke. I don't think you're a moody cow. Your hormones could be at play. When we have an imbalance in hormones, whether that's progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, thyroid, insulin, cortisol, all the hormones that we've been speaking about, it can have a knock-on effect on our mood. And that mood is, it could make you grumpy, it could make you irritable, it could make you tearful, it could make you angry, irrational, all of those type of things. So what do we need to do to ensure that we're not experiencing this? Again, it goes back to Bitcoin, but we need to actually get some testing done. Find out what's going on in your body. I know that I've said this so many times, you know, when we get tests done, it doesn't automatically mean that you're going to go on medication. And at some points when we have depression and we are so low, you know, then that medication can be the most valuable thing that you do. So, but what it shows us is the body balanced? Because possibly there's an imbalance somewhere and we need to rectify that. And it doesn't automatically equal taking a pill, for example. If you have lower estrogen, then we can use foods that can really help boost your estrogen up as well. We'd be looking at flax seeds there, for example, and also looking at pumpkin seeds can really help with that. And if we're looking at if you don't have enough progesterone, then we really want to be looking at that stress response, because that stress response can have such a major impact on our progesterone levels. But we also want to be eating foods that are higher in zinc and B6, for example, because those really help boost our progesterone levels. If we have elevated testosterone, if that's what's driving your mood, then we need to really look at, you know, what kind of exercise are you doing? Are you sleeping? What's your blood sugar like? What's your insulin doing? And then we need to balance your blood sugar levels. And that's why I said, all the way through that these things that I wanted to show you were what you can do on a daily basis that's going to bring about the most change. So I think that when we start looking at mood as well, we also have to remember that when our hormones can affect our neurotransmitters, so our brain neurotransmitters, so GABA, dopamine, serotonin, it can affect all of that. So this is where I see so many ladies that are going through perimenopause and menopause, and they've come to me and they've just been put on an antidepressant and no further testing has been done. And I always think, oh, I wish you had just come like a few days before to see me so we could have tested those hormone levels to make sure that there isn't an imbalance there. And if there is an imbalance, then we'd be looking at possibly bringing in some amino acids that we can really start to balance out what's happening. Brain has a major impact on hormones. Our stress response all starts in the brain as well. So important. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. And that is why I wrote the balance plan. Because I thought to myself, I needed to get this message out there that it's not just about there's just one food that you can eat, or there's one exercise that you should do, or there's one self-care tip that's going to make everything better. No, it does not work like that. It's my happy hormone evolution. You need to be looking at what you eat, how you balance your blood sugar levels and your gut, which I'm going to talk about in a bit more detail in a moment. How you nurture, how you cleanse. Again, I'm not talking about going on a strict juice fast. You know, I'm still like, the jury's out whether you should be doing that alone in any case. But what I'm talking about is cleansing your environment as well. So looking at plastics, looking at the chemicals you use, products that you use on your face, on your hair, on your body, everything like that is so important to have as in part of your hormone balancing arsenal kit, basically. And then bringing in the right foods that help the body naturally detoxify. So I think when people hear the word detox at the moment, they think, oh, it's a 4-letter word, you know, just like stirs all these things in you. People are getting angry, shouting from the rooftops, your body's amazing, it can detox, you're dead if it doesn't. All of that is absolutely bloody true, 100% true. If your liver didn't function, if your kidneys didn't function, if you didn't have these proper detoxifying processes in the body, we would not be here. That is absolutely true. But my counter argument to that is we are not living the life we were genetically programmed to live. We're eating so many food-like products. First of all, we're not getting in the right nutrients to help our body. That's where the issue comes in. That's where we have a problem. So what can we do? Your dark green leafy vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables, so broccoli, cabbage, kale, and cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. And for goodness sake, there's so many recipes that you can cook that makes it taste nice and not just like fart. I said fart, that word makes me laugh. So, you know, we can make it taste good again, bringing in those foods on a daily basis, making sure we're hydrated enough is another thing that we have to concentrate on. And I'll tell you one thing for all my coffee and caffeine ladies, caffeine is extremely dehydrating. It's extremely dehydrating. So if anything, what we want to do is keep the body nice and hydrated, then that would be another reason to reduce your caffeine. And then move. Getting in the right type of movement. Not gone are the days where we need to be in the gym for 3 hours, killing it on the treadmill. You know, that is outdated now. The research has moved on from that. That's the beauty of science and research. And I'll tell you what, if I'm doing this talk again for you in a year's time to 2 years' time, the research will have moved on and I'll have new things to tell you. And I'll be going back on some of the things I used to say, because that's what happens with science. You know, fat was bad. It was the devil kicked out. Now fat's back. Fat was out, so let's add sugar in. Now we know that sugar's having these catastrophic effects on our health. So I think those are the two things that really had the biggest impact, was low fat and high sugar. And we also like looking at how the body functions as a whole. All the time, these things are changing as we learn more and more. For example, I'm just going to throw one thing out there: vitamin D, for example. Um, we used to just think about that for bones and teeth, but now we're learning so much more that it's so important for hormonal function. It's so important for your mood, for brain function. So if you are having any of these hormonal conditions as well, I really encourage you to have your vitamin D tested, especially if you've got polycystic ovaries. That should be a standard test because there's so many with polycystic ovaries that are deficient in vitamin D. And if you live in the UK, there's a strong chance that you're deficient in vitamin D. And if you live in extremely hot climates, like in Dubai and those type of places, you're probably not getting outside. You're probably staying inside because it's so hot. So that's another reason to get your vitamin D tested. Okay, so I've got some takeaways from today. Let me know if everyone is still with me. I'm going to just do something quickly here to make sure I have everything. Okay, takeaways from today. Eat more Bitcoin. Who's with me? That is looking at your food. Stop counting calories and start counting nutrients. You want to eat as fresh and as close to nature as possible. That whole idea of clean eating when it first came out, Beth, not a Chinese Indian pizza or a pizza. That whole idea that I lost my train of thought because I looked down. Damn, sorry. Okay, so eat more Bitcoin. Let me get back on track here. Making sure that we're counting nutrients. We want to try, the whole idea of clean eating when it first came out, what it was actually all about was eating as close to nature as possible. It was eating whole foods. It was ditching the processed stuff. I mean, that completely changed and it just became like this, anyone that says clean eating now, is tarred and feathered. But what the actual essence of clean eating was, that's what's important. Nurture. Do not underestimate the power of relaxation, the power of breath, the power of having a giggle. We really want to fill that adrenal piggy bank. So that stress response has a major impact on our adrenals, and we want to fill that piggy bank. When we are highly stressed, we don't digest our food properly either. When you don't digest your food properly, it sits in your belly for longer and ferments, and that can give off gas and bloating and make you feel really uncomfortable. When we don't digest our food properly, microbes can get through easier, especially if you're highly stressed and you are diverting all those, your digestive enzymes and everything are not optimal because you're in this heightened stress response. Then what we're then looking at is that we're not ionizing our nutrients from our food, and especially if you're looking at where where the magnesium and the calcium, so all the minerals are absorbed, is at that top part of the digestive tract. So we need to make sure that your digestion is optimal from the mouth right through to your poop chute. And that's really important. And when we're highly stressed, it has a knock-on effect on that. And when we're highly stressed, it throws out our insulin as well. And when that's thrown out, again, it has a knock-on effect on our digestion. So do not underestimate the power of watching a movie that makes you laugh out loud, getting outside in nature walks, getting outside during the day, claiming your lunch break back. Do not underestimate that. Next is don't eat crap. If that offends you, I apologize. Don't eat carp or park. Those are 80% of the time you want to avoid carbonated drinks and chemicals. So that's your added chemicals. You want to avoid 80% of the time refined sugars and refined carbohydrates. 80% of the time artificial sweeteners and additives you want to avoid. 80% of the time processed foods and preservatives are what are off the menu. And I tell you what, ladies, oh, Rianne says, I was told to have some fermented food each day, like sauerkraut. I'm just going to talk a bit about fermented foods. It's something that I use in clinic. It's not something that I would go in with immediately when I'm working with a client, especially someone that has digestive issues. Your digestion is essential for hormonal function, essential. If you are not pooping, then you run the risk of reabsorbing spent hormones. If you have a really fast transit times, you eat something and within 2 seconds you have a runny poop, then you run the risk of not absorbing your nutrients well on the way out. I beg your pardon. If you have a lot of something that we call beta glucuronidase, for example, it can actually unpack your hormones that are ready to be excreted out your poop chute. So your digestion is essential, and it's something that I focus a lot on in my clinic as well. But with fermented foods, it can be so helpful and can really help to rebalance our gut flora and to feed the microbes, to really help with the population of the good microbiome. But if you suffer from a lot of bloating, by just increasing sauerkraut or anything like that, it can cause you to have more bloating as well. So what I recommend is that you try very little amount to start with, and then you can build up. And your fermented foods like sauerkrauts, for example, are more of a they're a condiment as opposed to like the main event of the meal. So I hope that helps with the fermented foods, helps give you a little bit of insight into that. I have some secret weapons, and the reason why I have the secret weapons is because I always say there's not one food that's going to fix everything. There's not one exercise that's going to do it. There's no one pill wonder. There is no magic pill. If there was a magic pill, then we'd be dishing them out. I would want you all to have the magic pill. I would want it. But there is no magic pill, just like there isn't one food, one exercise routine, one so for example, if you eat one chocolate, it's not gonna, undo all your work. If you're going to eat one piece of broccoli, it's not going to suddenly make you this Zen woman without any symptoms. But what I call my secret weapons are things that you should be trying to include on a daily basis. And I want to talk about blood sugar balance again. If you have a lot of cravings, my secret weapon here is definitely some cinnamon. Cinnamon can really help with cravings. You can add that to your breakfast. You can have a cinnamon tea. You can, there's also supplements that have cinnamon in. Really good formula that I like to use, cinnamon, alpha lipoic acid, and chromium in. But again, you want to be working with someone that knows, because these supplements can work really well, but if you have any issues where they can be counter or contraindicated, then that becomes an issue. So I'm just giving you some ideas here. Food first, always. Next is having those cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, for example, is high in something called sulforaphane, and that sulforaphane helps your body to naturally detox the spent estrogen. So it's really important to be bringing that into the diet as well. You can even have broccoli sprouts that you can just add to your salad. If you do have estrogen dominance, so if your estrogen is higher than your progesterone, whether that's by default because your progesterone is low naturally or because your estrogen is just really that high, and bringing in those type of foods can also help with that. Another secret weapon is your omega fatty acids. So important. Really important to have. So how do we get those in? If you oily fish is a good way of having that. And if you don't eat fish, nuts and seeds, you can get some linseed oil that you can put on your food. Trying to include them in a daily basis. Another secret weapon that's really important is magnesium. So magnesium-rich foods, dark green leafy vegetables, nuts and seeds. I can put lists of this up on the group as well, where you can just get some ideas of what you can be eating. And so then those type of foods help increase magnesium. But I'm going to tell you one thing again: if your digestion is not optimal, then you might not be absorbing all your nutrients. You have to look at your gut function as well. I keep seeing people put stuff about FODMAP. FODMAP can be really helpful for some. It's quite a restrictive way of eating to reduce those foods. I really recommend that you do that with someone that knows so that you can bring them back in and see if that helps you to feel better. And yeah, so many people have had really great success with FODMAPs and IBS. I feel that IBS, anything that's from the mouth, any symptom from the mouth to the bum can be labeled as IBS. IBS is a blanket term. We want to find out what your triggers are with IBS. Let's go back to the secret weapons though. Breath is a secret weapon, making sure you do your breathing, and also making sure that you get out in nature, as I said before, and getting enough rest. Balancing your blood sugar levels is another secret weapon. We want to reduce the carbohydrate foods on a daily basis. Those are the refined carbohydrates, not the brown and fibrous ones, the white, sweet, and fluffy foods. Okay, let's see if, whoops, I've given you all this information. And why do I think the tips I've given you might not work for you? I see so many ladies in clinic, so many. My clinic is actually at capacity. I am struggling to fit new people in. I'm probably going to have just open the waiting list now for January. And most women that come and see me come as, I get so many of, you my last resort. This is the last time I'm trying anything. I've tried everything. I need help. I had one lady come in and tell me, help, I need help, my marriage is falling apart. And I was like, okay, well, I can refer you to my colleague who's a marriage counselor. And she's like, no, I know who you are. But I've got such PMS. I'm just a mess. I'm bloated. I'm horrible to my husband continuously. So can you help? And she had tried every diet under the sun as well. I've had many people that have read my book or have bought the book but not read it. And that's why I wanted to write the book, because I thought I'm going to give you something that you can do, a plan that you can follow. But a lot of the time it's about following through. And someone said something amazingly correct, because this is something that I say all the time. I can't find it now, but what I wanted to say is that what I'm telling you here, in this capacity of what we can achieve in a call like this, is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. What we can do in a session like this is really look at how we can change our lifestyle on a daily basis, that it makes us feel better. That is the honest to goodness truth. But what makes a difference is if you're doing it with someone. What makes a difference is if you have that accountability. What makes a difference is if you have that buddy that you can turn to that's going through it with you. What makes a huge, huge, huge difference is that if you don't get confused as to what you need to be doing, that you have a step-by-step plan that you can put into place, that you know exactly what you should be doing and where you should be going. I've got a bookshelf full of books. I used to carry books around and hope that they would get into my brain through the process of osmosis. I didn't open the book to read it. Books are amazing, amazing references, but it's actually following through on something that I find is the biggest thing, that why these tips, why the book in itself may not be the only thing that you need to do. There was a research that was done that was such a low percent, I think it was something like 16%, I speak under correction, was that is how the percentage of people that take information, obviously this was a survey done, I can't remember where I saw this, but I remember it stuck in my head. It's a very low percentage of people follow through with what they need to do when they're doing it alone. So teamwork is what Claire says. Yes, definitely. Lorna says. Zoe says accountability. Doing it alone is hard. So I just think that that's why I wanted to put the challenge together, because in this short time, we've created such a community, and we're all lifting each other up, and we're all spurring each other on, and we know exactly what we need to be doing today, tomorrow, the next day, and it makes such a big difference. So I am so happy that we've managed to do that. Working with other clients, I've got some more client examples. Lovely Chloe, who is a phenomenal hypnotherapist, and she's got amazing books out on anxiety as well. She came to see me. She was actually a nutritionist as well, and she came to see me and was taking what she needed to do and breaking it down into small steps that brought about this massive change in her, digestion wise, hormones wise, and she's still following the plan that I put together for her. And then Dominique, for example, she's an amazing sophrologist. She's a lady that I spoke about yesterday in the live. I speak about it in my book as well. She came to see me for digestive, for constipation. She was really constipated, for energy boosting, and to prepare her body for fertility and have a healthy pregnancy. So we worked together in that, and first time in her life, she said her digestion felt normal, but energy levels were higher. She dropped some of that weight that she was trying to lose. Those last few pounds, they came off. She sailed through her pregnancy, and after her pregnancy, we worked together more. So, these are real women that have gone through it with the support. And then there's one more that I wanted to talk about as well, because I hope that this gives you hope. So many people were struggling with skin. So many people have tried so many different things. This person in particular, Lorna, is beautiful. She was suffering from IBS and PCOS for many years. She had terrible breakouts on her skin, and her hair was thinning a lot. She was very distressed when she came to see me. We made a number of diet and lifestyle changes, again, in very simple steps that we put together. We did baseline blood for the GP. We looked at those. We didn't do any more testing past that. And she now has more energy. She's sleeping better. She still says that her skin is the clearest it's ever been. She's not losing that hair anymore. She's able to manage her stress better. And this is what the power of working together and knowing what you can do for you. This is it. So I've put together an amazing program that I would really love to share with you. So I would love to know if you would love to hear about my program. So I'm going to give it a little sec, because I think there's a slight delay. I'm going to wait for the comments. I'm just thinking, I hope you do. So let me know if you are up for hearing about my program. I'm so excited about this. This is something that's been in the making for possibly, I've been in clinic now for 9 years. This has been in the making for maybe 8 of those 9 years. The challenge is my way of introducing you to a concept of making change that's easy to do, to bring about the biggest wins, is like the way I like to speak about it. And it's also about the collective sisterhood. And I'm going to set myself off again, but I am so excited. Let me see. Yes. Oh, good. Because if not, that would have been a very different ending to this. I am about to launch or open the doors to my Hormone Balance School. It's an 8-week online program designed to help balance your hormones so that you can look and feel confident, calm, energized, and you can get your mojo back. This is the big thing that was coming through in the thread. And I tell you what, I am a nutritional therapist. Okay, that is my calling. That is what I was meant to do. I am not I'm not in sales or anything like that. I just want to tell you about my program, and I'm hoping that you'll join. But when I first put the challenge together, there was a part of me that thought I might not share this Hormone Balance School with anyone for a long time. And that I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. This is like, I've been honest with you from the start. I'm honest about my feelings. And it wasn't until we opened the group doors. I'm actually so nervous because I'm so excited. It wasn't until we opened the doors that I thought this is so needed from your um, comments, from what you were telling me, how you were feeling, from your intros. I was just, everyone that I read, honestly, I had tears in my eyes from most of them. But everyone that I read, I thought, you need to come and see me. You need to come and see me in clinic. I need to help you. I have to help you. And I'm at capacity. I mean, I could take a few. But that's what Hormone Balance School is. It's the opportunity to work with me for 8 weeks. And it's me offering my expertise, proven method, plus my coaching support and having that accountability. And it's a platform that facilitates and nurtures a loving and supportive community for women just like you. And it's ultimately there to create a lasting transformation. That is what the key is. And it's about the collective sisterhood. It's about the collective sisterhood. If you want to have a sneak peek at what it is in the meantime, there's a bit.ly code at the bottom, bit.ly/HB school, hormone balance school, if you want to have a look. Why do I want to do this? Why? Well, I've proven that this saying, and whoever said this is bloody genius. I've proven that this saying is so true. This saying is absolutely true. We have proven, not I have proven, we have proven that this saying is so true. Look what we've done in the short space of time that we're together. So the benefits, I'm just going to run through these before I hit the questions. Don't worry, I'm still going to go to the questions, but I just want to tell you about this. The benefits of it is not only to optimize your hormones, feel more energetic, start feeling like your best self again, but it's gain clarity about why you're feeling like this. We work together for 8 weeks. Each module is broken down. We're going to dive deep into why this is happening as much as we can in a group setting. That's how deep we're going. Benefit from the community support. You've seen what it's like to be part of the hormone balance challenge. Step-by-step plan. Exactly what we've experienced over these 3 days is breaking it down so that you can start putting these things into place. Personal direction from me, and I tell you what, this is 9 years of clinical experience, but I am 41 this year, and I started menstruating at the age of 10. So that's a lot of years to have been battling with hormones and trying to understand my own bodies and draw from my own personal experience, but my clinical experience as well. Support moving through the plan and the pain of making a change. I get it, it's hard. And learn new healthy habits together. So who is it for? The woman who's ready to make a change, the woman who's ready to invest in her own health. So that's not only money investment here, I'm talking about time investment as well. Who wants to feel better and who's not willing to settle to feel like this. So what is the goal of Hormone Balance School? There has to be a goal, otherwise why are we doing it? Not only do I want you to understand what's happening for you, but I want you to have more energy, that confidence again, glowing skin, your hair to stop falling out, keep restful, uninterrupted sleep, be calmer and stress-free in your immediate environment. How can you change your reaction to stress? And control of your own life, empowered and feeling fantastic. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what's going to happen in Hormone Balance School. I have to say, this is not for someone that's looking for a quick fix. This is not someone that's looking for a quick fix. And this is an investment in your own health, and it's a lifestyle change that brings about sustainable change and long-lasting benefits. That's what I want. So I'm just going to run through what it looks like. And then I promise I'll get to the cost. I should have maybe put that up first because everyone's, how much is it? I don't mean to keep you waiting. I've never done this before. Sorry. Week 1, we're doing Hormones 101. We're going to really look at what you should be eating the whole way through. So the meal plan, ideas for meals as well, recipes, as well as what baseline blood tests I think we should all have, because we're going to look at that in week 7. We're going to really focus on your gut health, essential for hormonal balance. That rest and nurture, we're going to dive deeper into that. We're going to be doing exercises together. We've done 4-7 breathing now. We're going to up that to different types of breathing techniques so that we be bringing in a whole range of things that we can be doing. Week 4 is a take action week. This is where we're having a live Q&A. We're going to go through some of those test results. We're really going to consolidate everything we've learned. Spring clean is week 5. This is not just going on a detox, not what we're doing. It's about cleaning the whole environment. It's really learning about what we can do together to bring about the cleanest, use that word in inverted commas, but the most hormone-friendly environment. We can talk about exercise in week 6. Week 7 is we're going deeper. So there we're looking at, okay, so we've made all these changes. Maybe we need to look at different testing. Maybe we need to look at some supplementation. And then we're having a virtual wrap-up party where we're going to celebrate each other, and we're going to put our foundations, our plan for a lifetime change in place. I've got some bonuses. So first bonus is, because we'll be finishing Hormone Balance School just before the Christmas season starts, I am going to do an extra module come January where the Christmas festivities are over on how to start your year right. I have exclusive recipes, and I've got 4 lined up at the moment, but that might change as well. We might get more, but these are top industry experts that I've handpicked on stress, anxiety, pelvic pain, and over-exercising for hormones and for weight loss, for those that need the weight loss part. Okay, we got there. Whew. So I have put together a plan. So the full course is £849, which I've made into split payments of 283 per month. But for the next 48 hours, you can get it for £657, £219 a month. Or if you want to pay it in full, I can give you an extra discount, and you can get that for £597. So that's the price. I'm going to leave that up there for a couple of seconds for you to have a look. And then you can have a think about it as well. You also get some early bird bonuses. It's a signed copy of my book, The Balance Plan. And the first 5 people will get a one-to-one call with me, including a personalized action plan. So that in itself is amazing. So get in there, get in there. I've got a Go Platinum option as well for those that want to dive deeper. Go Platinum is you get everything included in the plan, but you also get 2 calls with me and a group coaching call for further support. And again, I have the price for the Platinum plan is £1,758, but you can pay that. I've done that in split payments for you, or I've got an early bird, pay in full, and you can get that for £1,400. Your early bird bonus is the first 5 people that go platinum also get a hormone test and an analysis from me with a plan for that's worth $880. That is incredible as well. So let me see. I'm quite nervous. I'm nervous because this has been something that's so long in the making. I've never done anything like this before. I've never done a webinar like this where I have an ending to it. You know, I normally go up and do my talks and that's finished. So I'm feeling quite nervous. Why do I want to do this? Why is this so important? And this is a quote from my book. It is, "The greatest learning has been that working to optimize my hormones is a journey, a series of gentle, consistent changes over time. This is my message, a lifestyle that achieves hormonal balance is about consistency, not perfection. Nourishment, not deprivation. Now I honor my body by respecting its natural cycle, working with it, against it." And that is why I wanted to put Hormone Balance School in front of you this evening. I want you to be able to create this lifestyle that brings about hormonal balance. I want us to do this together so that we can stand together and shout, I am woman, hear me roar. And I really hope you'll join me. But whatever your decision is, you know, wherever you are, whatever space you are in now, I hope that you'll be able to take whether you work with me in the Hormone Balance School or whether this is not something that you can do right now. I truly hope that the challenge that we've done together, that you can take those teachings, those things that we've done, and you can put them into daily life. And I'm going to come on again. I'll do very impromptu live again, just to wrap up the challenge as well, and to tell you what the next steps of the group is. But whether you go it alone, whether you grab my book and you follow the plan, or whether you join Hormone Balance School, I just want you to be okay. I want you to feel better, and I want you to know that I'm there to support you in whatever decision that is. And it's been an honor, an absolute honor to have run this challenge with you, and for you all to have been here, and for you guys to have joined me live. That's incredible. I'm so grateful. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share, and then I'm going to grab some of your questions, and I'm going to answer them the best I can in a group setting like this, and without your I hope you can see me now. I'm just going to have a little moment to check. Hang on a sec. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know. We're going into the Q&A part. We're going into the Q&A part. Are you guys ready? Let me know. Okay, here we go. One of the questions was, and I printed this out so that I could see everybody's names, but for some reason, it hasn't brought out the names. Okay. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I've got all my bits. 1 second, sorry. Thought I'd be a little bit more organized. So I don't have whose names it is in front of me. Yeah. Okay, so in your opinion, are there any types of exercise that cause too much stress in the body or make your hormones not balanced? For example, high intensity training. So there is a lot of good research at the moment on high intensity training, for HIIT training, and there's a lot of research to show that it's quite positive effect on women's hormonal health. In my opinion, the types of exercise that could cause a hormonal imbalance is excessive exercise, so whatever that is. So whether you are excessively exercising, that's the thing that I would say. Or biochemical individuals, we need to find our own hormonal sweet spot, our own hormone or our own exercise sweet spot. Do you recommend fasting to help control blood sugar levels? So fasting is interesting, and I think that's come up so many times. I'll chat to you a little bit about fasting. Fasting and intermittent fasting, I assume you mean intermittent fasting there. It has some amazing research behind it, and we're still learning. Everybody is different though, so it might not work for you. And as females, if we start looking back like evolutionary, we were the hunter-gatherers, so we probably, and this is what I had heard from a friend of mine called Daryl, would probably have been foraging a bit more than going for longer fasts without food. So you know, we have to work out what's right for us. Do I use fasting in clinic with clients? Yes, I do. I first start with a blood sugar balancing program, and then I might move into them only eating every 5 hours. But that's only once I've assessed what their blood sugar is doing. And if you feel dizzy, if you haven't eaten after 3 hours, then what you really need to do is you need to start seeing what you've eaten your meals before. So are you getting enough protein, fats, and carbohydrates? How do fats affect your hormones? For example, eating low fat semi-skim and now considering full fat and avocados. Okay, so I think that one of the most rate limiting steps for hormonal health is reducing our fat content, and that's good fats that I'm talking about. So not hydrogenated and trans fatty acids, none of that. It's about taking out the good fats. So even like semi-skim milk or skim milk, for example, has had the good fats stripped out, and also your fat soluble nutrients, vitamin A, D, E, and K is really important. You need to have those with fat as well. So yes is the short answer. I think that having low fat has affected our hormonal health. Do you think supplements help? So that's a great question. Not one that I can just say yes or no. Depends on why you're taking them and if you need them, and the type of supplements you're taking, and the quality of supplements that you're taking, and everything like that. So that is a big player in whether supplements help or not. Would vitamin B injection give us a bit more get up and go? Again, you know, I've been wanting to look at why is your vitamin B12, oh, sorry, did I say vitamin B? Vitamin B12, why is it low? Is it low? Do you need to be taking that? I know that there's all the craze to have IV injections. New clinic that's open that I might, that I'm going to be looking into, seeing like kinds of syndrome and stuff like that, whether they would benefit from something like that, but just going to go get that, just get a bit of energy, I don't think it's the right way to go. I think you need to work on the things that we were discussing before, make sure your blood sugar levels aren't causing that energy drop, making sure you're not stressing, not sleeping enough, and making sure your gut health is optimal. How long does it take to rebalance your hormones? That is a great question. We are all biochemically individual. I always say give it 3 months, 2 to 3 months so you start seeing some differences. But balance, I can't answer that question. I mean, I am forever striving to keep my hormones balanced, and but it takes time. It doesn't just happen in a week. So give yourself 3 months of being on a solid lifestyle change. Let's see. So how does hormone imbalances affect the liver? What can be done to help it cope? So the liver metabolizes our hormones. It's very important for hormonal function. So to support the liver, key steps are to hydrate enough, get enough magnesium to those dark green leafy vegetables and seeds. Make sure you're not constipated. Have the poop chute open. And then more of those cruciferous vegetables that we spoke about: broccoli, kale, cauliflower, cabbage, all of those, and make sure you cook them gently or chew them really well if you have digestive issues. Again, if you've got a lot of IBS and those type of things, then you want to be making sure you chew them and cook them really well. Okay. So many of us are being fobbed off by GPs, especially as regards to PCOS. The answer from them seems to be lose weight and here's a pill. How or where do we find help, or how do we branch out to our GPs to get them to understand and give us real help we need instead of dismissing it? I'll tell you what, with PCOS, and this is something we're definitely going to be covering in the Hormone Balance School, and it's something that I talk about at length. I've got blogs on my website and my book as well. We need to make the lifestyle changes to be able to help with PCOS. So some of us have issues with weight, we've got polycystic ovaries, others don't, and what we really need to do is we need to be focused on making these lifestyle changes, balancing our blood sugar level, keeping that stress in check, and that's the biggest thing. And then keeping an eye on what those hormonal levels are. If you're just going to take a pill to fix your PCOS, that's not going to fix it. You need to be doing work to do that. Will you be covering why some of us wake up at 2:30 or 3 p.m. and 3 a.m. and cannot get back to sleep? This could be for a couple of reasons, but one of them could be blood sugar imbalance. So you could be going into hypoglycemia, or so a lower blood sugar, and then the body will wake you up. It will called to cortisol to break down blood sugar stores, and that will automatically wake you up as well. When you get to that stage, maybe your brain starts working overtime and you can't get back to sleep. So my advice to you is to make sure that your evening meal is a very blood sugar balancing meal. I'm allergic to nuts and don't like raisins. What can I replace them with? In some of the healthy recipes that include nuts and raisins. What about seeds instead of nuts and raisins? Do you want to use some apricots or some dates? That could help you there. What do you recommend to support endometriosis and fibroids? Gynecologist says only surgery. In other words, no diet, lifestyle changes can make sense. I think there's quite a divide in the idea of whether diet and lifestyle can help. In my opinion, I think, it can help. At times we do need to have surgery as well, but endometriosis in particular, we're looking at it being more of a autoimmune condition as well. So we really need to be looking at supporting the immune system and the digestion. So, and then with fibroids, they can be really estrogen led or driven. So we need to work out on balancing out estrogen. So again, that can be making sure that your insulin's not imbalanced, making sure that you're getting enough rest, making sure that you've got your gut's functioning well so you can absorb your nutrients, and that you're pooping so that you can get rid of the spent hormones. It's a lot. You need to work at it as a lifestyle change. Okay. Is a combination of keto and intermittent fasting the best way to manage hormones and weight gain during perimenopause, or is this a permanent approach? Do hormones settle again in menopause, or another approach is warranted after this? Combination of keto and intermittent fasting. Now, keto again, there's such mixed reviews on that. It can be really beneficial. It's something that I would say you need to be working with someone who want to do keto. I don't know if it's a long-term thing. There's some people that are saying it's perfect that you can do it long-term, but for me, the jury's still out whether it can be done long-term. So intermittent fasting can help, as I said before, but you need to work out what works for you. Do hormones govern the amount of the hideousness that is the cellulite we have? Oh, you need to love all your lumps and bumps, but there's also again different theories as to what is causing that, but excess estrogen or estrogen dominance can increase the amount of cellulite that a woman has. So looking at that, and then seeing at what stage of life you are as well. I've got PCOS, can't take any hormones into my body other than the form, in any form, as it all goes haywire. So HRT is not for me. Are there any natural supplements that would be beneficial? Would inositol, B12, and magnesium help? They can help. They can help, again, working with someone that knows how to give you the right doses. But B vitamins can help, inositol can help, and also looking at your gut function, maybe even looking at liver function is very important for PCOS as well. Should blood tests for the following be carried out at certain times of your cycle? Is it okay for them all to be taken at once? Okay, so your LH and your FSH and your estrogen, depending on what you want to be seeing. So that's normally done between day 2 and day 3. Your sex hormone binding globulin could be done at any time. Testosterone, I would just do that with the estrogen, or if you want it's the highest, just before ovulation, so you might want to wait till ovulation. And your progesterone is normally done 7 days post ovulation, so it's normally done on day 21 if you've got a 28-day cycle. Thyroid panel anytime. Okay, is a healthy coffee intake, what is a healthy coffee intake that does not affect your hormonal balance? That question is, I can't answer that. You need to work that out for you. So we all biochemically individual. I don't know how you detox your coffee, how you metabolize it, what your genes are doing. So I can't answer that. But my rule of thumb is that if coffee doesn't make you jittery and you really love the taste, then sticking to 1 cup of coffee a day, a good quality cup of coffee, and not having that as a meal replacement, not having that before your breakfast, that could be beneficial, because there's a lot of research about the benefits of having the coffee bean itself. Can eating sugar, particularly when you don't don't normally cause you to feel hungover, bad-tempered the next day. And that can because of it's reactive to your hypoglycemia. So the blood sugar goes up and then it comes down because of the insulin. So that can do that. I've been researching maca root powder and it's claimed to help balance hormones. What's your take on that? There's a lot of great research around maca. Again, this is something that you can try and take it. You can see if it works for you. I wouldn't go overboard with it. It's quite strong. In certain cases, I wouldn't be using it, especially if you've got any like estrogen cancer or anything like that. That's something that I would not be using. It's really powerful. I know people sometimes just fob off these superfoods. Maca root is very powerful. It has been used for centuries for Peruvian women to help regulate the hormones. It's called an adaptogen, so it can help. So you can try it and see if that works for you. Again, I would recommend that you work with someone on that. I've been tested for polycystic ovaries before and had an internal scan. They said I have no cysts on my ovaries, suffer with PCOS symptoms, unwanted hair growth, low mood, irritability. What do you recommend my next steps are for managing the above and keeping them at bay without going on a pill? So for that question, I'd say, again, we need to look at what's driving that. What is your testosterone doing? Is your testosterone elevated? What is your blood sugar levels doing? What is your insulin doing? Those would be your first steps that you should be doing. Are there other things we can do to calm the nervous system and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system? That is getting out in nature, getting your natural sunlight is what we just discussed in the masterclass, and making sure that your reaction to stress, really getting into grips with how you're reacting to stress and what that means for you and how you can change your reaction to stress. Any advice for those with IBS, please? What foods are best? You have to find out what is your trigger or what is your driver for IBS. A lot of the time with IBS clients, we look at their gut function and we see that there's an imbalance there, but by rectifying that, it helps. But I would say that understanding what your trigger is for IBS and what's driving it is the best thing. There's not just one food that's going to help for that. So, you could speak to your doctor as well to see if they've got any tests that they can do and finding out what the driver is. I have found a lot of the time with IBS, even like high sugary foods and that type of thing can set it off. So something to bear in mind. I heard that veggies these days have fewer nutrients in them than in days gone by because our soils are overfarmed and depleted in nutrients. What's your view on this, please? I agree. The research is pretty clear on that it does. And so in my opinion, we need to be eating more vegetables. We need to make sure the sources of veggies that we eat as well. So trying to get those that are not, so buying local so that they're not traveling millions of miles and picked before they are before they're ready, and then also not overcooking them, so not killing them by boiling them to death, for example, steaming lightly, baking them lightly, frying them, that sort of thing, to try and keep the nutrients in. And yes, a portion per day would be ideal. Is stevia or stevia, whichever way you want to say it, raw, not combined, allowed to sweeten some food? So stevia is really interesting. I find that it is so sweet. It's much sweeter than sugar was. So we just need to ensure that you're not overstimulating the sweet taste centers that you want more and more and more. It needs to be like pure stevia. I mean, most of it is just refined anyway. So just getting the purest kind is really important. And that's normally like the green leaves of the stevia. If there was 5 things you could tell us to do or avoid completely, what would they be? Okay. Let's see. I don't like to say that there's no food that you should eat. That is not how I work. I'm all about bringing in things on a consistent basis and having this a balanced approach to it. But the foods that I'd say you should avoid would be hydrogenated and trans fats. So they're not serving you really refined oils, like refined sunflower oils. Definitely don't be cooking with them. In my opinion, you should be reducing your sugar and artificial sweeteners as much as possible. Those type of foods, and also not like barbecuing your food, blackening meat either. So those are the ones that I would say for that. It's a difficult question to answer, because I wouldn't say that there's one food you should never eat, because I feel like that could be unrealistic and not help to get this balanced approach. How do you keep your hormones balanced after the menopause? That is what we're going to be doing in the hormone balance school. But take these tips that I've already given you, everything that we've spoken about, really important, and making sure that you're getting in a good range of vegetables as well. Please keep it up. Okay, let's see. Is decaf tea and coffee okay? I think decaf tea is all chemically altered. So in my opinion, unless it's naturally decaf free, so like herbal tea, I personally wouldn't recommend decaf tea and decaf coffee. If you can find the water, the one that's water decaffeinated, so the water processed one, then that one would be okay to have. A bit confused about whether or not you should have things like bread, pasta, rice, potato. I do find after a long day work, exercise, and walking, dog walking, I sometimes don't get full enough on vegetables and protein. Absolutely. Just stick to the brown and fibrous. So brown rice, brown pasta, sweet potato, normal potato, and with your bread's a difficult one because they're just so full of rubbish these days. If you can get a sourdough bread, that would be the best. So a proper sourdough bread would be the best there. But yeah, absolutely, carbs are in. Carbs are absolutely in, but maybe you want to not only think about carbs as potatoes and rice and bread, maybe you want to start thinking about them as beans and pulses, lentils, chickpeas, all of those, if you can tolerate them, because they are also carbohydrates. How long can you leave the videos up for? I will get back to you on that. I will jump on and let you all know. What is the 20% that everyone is mentioning regarding their food? Okay, so this is how I see it. If we want to have sustainable, lasting change, we need to have a balance. And that balance needs to tip into 80% of the time you're eating food as nutrient-intensive whole foods, avoiding loads of sugar and all of that for 80% of the time. And 20% of the time, wherever that fits in, whether you're doing that 20% of the time in a month, in a week, that is where you let your hair down, you go with the flow, you're drinking a pina colada under a sun umbrella. I don't drink alcohol at all. Someone asked me that. I don't. I might start again. Who knows? But I haven't for the last 5-ish years. I haven't had any. I used to drink a lot of alcohol. A lot. So I had enough in my time. And it really didn't do my hormones any favors. What's your take on dairy? I don't restrict, but I've read so many confusing things about impacting hormones and acne. So dairy is a very interesting one. When we look at the literature, I feel like at the moment we need to take what we read in there, but we need to understand that we're all biochemical individuals. So many people, makes absolutely no difference to their acne. Nothing whatsoever. Other people, when they cut out dairy, it's incredible. Their acne gets that so much better. So in my book, for example, I have a naturally dairy-free 4-week plan, and that is because dairy can increase inflammation in the body, and I want to reduce additional hormones. So that is my rationale for that. And then post that, I say you can go and have a dairy light approach. So I don't think we should be having cow's milk every day. No, personally, I don't think we should be having gluten 3 times a day either. I think we should have a gluten light and dairy light approach, so that we're bringing in other nutrients as well. So you're having like millet bread or rice bread or things like that. So I hope that answers your question. So intermittent fasting, there's a few on intermittent fasting. So I've answered that already. Do different foods affect each hormone? You said on Tuesday that menopause results in lower levels of some hormones. Okay, so yes. So when we go through the menopause, our ovaries stop producing the sorry, my brain just gone dead there. Estrogen and progesterone, for example. And so what we want to then do is we want to make sure that we're eating a nice balanced amount of food, a nutrient-rich food, so getting that Bitcoin in and making sure that we are also very important that you are managing your stress with the menopause. So when we've gone through the menopause, our adrenal glands also start secreting hormones or take over almost from from the ovaries to start producing some hormones. And when we're really highly stressed, we're going to favor making those stress hormones, in my opinion. How many times should you get your hormones tested with a doctor? Like once a year or every few? Thanks. I think you should get a baseline test done. If you're suffering from a lot of hormonal conditions and you've made some changes and it's not making a difference, you need to get some baseline tests done. And from that, you'll be able to see what has an effect on the body. And from that, you'll be able to see how many times you need to test. So if your hormones are coming back all in the optimal range, remember we're looking for optimal hormones, then you may not need to test for a long time after that. But if they've come back a high normal or a low normal, then you probably want to keep an eye on that. I just wanted to check if there's anything else. If I've missed anyone's questions, I apologize. I hope I've got to everyone. My periods are irregular, and when they finally do come, they are only 2 days max. Are there any reasons for why they're so short? Any advice on how to regulate my periods? Okay, so start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Have you got your blood sugar levels balanced? Are you having plenty of vegetables, 8 portions per day? Have you got your sleep optimized yet? If not, then actually you're a perfect person for the program. But that's exactly what we'll be covering. Those are the first steps you need to be doing. So also having a look at, are you exercising too much, eating too little fat? What is your progesterone and estrogen levels like? Are they low? So over time, like especially if you're doing the hormone balance school, over time we do the steps to start optimizing this so that you have more balanced hormones and that your periods get better. Okay, what do you ask your doctor for when inquiring for tests? That's from Claire, and she says that so basically, it all depends on what your symptoms are. If you are extremely tired, your hair's falling out, you got cold hands and feet, for example, that would be looking at getting your iron tested first, the iron and ferritin, and then also your thyroid hormones. If you've got PMS or irregular periods, then you want to start with the baseline that we spoke about earlier. Someone had asked that question. LH, FSH, estradiol, testosterone, and progesterone. All of those. Anyone else want to know what Angelique's naughty eats are? Ooh, Beth, first of all, I'll use the word naughty. There's no good food, there's no bad food, there's no naughty food, there's none of that. But are you asking me what's in my 20%? Lately, I've been all about the salty foods. Did I see a question about salty foods? That someone said they crave salty foods. Just in case you did ask that or you've been thinking about that, if you crave a lot of salty food, get your stress response under control. It could be a sign that that your cortisol is imbalanced. So let's see. My 20% would be raw vegan cheesecake. Yummy. I also really love the delicious Diella balls. They're really good. And is it Livy's Kitchen? She does a I think it's like an orange. It's an orange something. So that's in there. those are the main things. That would be like the raw desserts. I can't have dairy. It affects me badly. I've been dairy intolerant, Casey, whey, and the lactose intolerant all my life. I stopped listening to that, and I ate loads of chocolate, and I was really, really ill. So that's why I don't have that. Sugar affects my hormones terribly, brings back all my symptoms. So I don't have much sugar other than the sugars that are added in the stuff that I've mentioned, like the raw brownies or things like that, because they can be like super sweet. My husband had them the other day, and he was like, "There's no way that that's healthy. There's no way. It's far too sweet. No way that that's healthy." But I can't think of everything, and I don't want you to think that I don't. So those raw balls that are on my website, the lemon bars that are on my website, that type of thing. I enjoy that type of thing. I'm quite a vanilla girl as well, so if you put it on the go, I'll probably have that. I hope that answers you. Orange Millionaire slices, yes, Rachel, they're the best. Oh, by the way, I saw someone say something about Medichecks. Let me see, Medichecks. Did someone say Medichecks? Medichecks is great. There's another one, Thriva. Why can't I say them? Sorry, guys. It's gotten really late. My brain's like, they're good for, you can just order your tests. My advice to that is, you need to know what to do with those results. So again, think about joining the hormone balance school so that we can go through those results. But they're quite good if your doctor isn't up for doing the test. Sometimes they don't feel you need that. Remember, you know your body the best. So if you've done your body scan and you go in there with very specific symptoms, then there's more chance that you'll be able to get, because you only have like 7 to 10 minutes with a doctor. That's not a lot of time. You need to use that time wisely, is basically what I'm saying. But as a standard, if you live in the UK in the winter months, I really encourage you to see what it's looking like. Max cortisol is sky high, and I love salt. Breathe, Marie, breathe. Breathe. That is so important. We need to, and keep your blood sugar levels balanced and get enough sleep, and get off of your phone or your laptop right now, because this blue light is not good for you. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, I've kept you so late. We are the last ladies standing this evening. This will be available on a replay for you as well. Have a look at the Hormone Balance School. See if you can come in and join me for my first intake into school. And I will be back in the group letting you know what's going to happen next as well. And again, if you wanted to talk to me about Hormone Balance School, I've got some spaces. I've made some appointments available. Just let me know and I'll shoot you my calendar link, because I'm cool now. I have a calendar link. I've never had this before. What have I done all my life about a calendar link? But I would be so happy to talk you through it. And I just wanted to say, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that you have gifted me with your time, that you have spent this time with me, you've interacted with me, you've interacted with each other, you've supported each other, and I'm so grateful. I just would love to honor you all, and I just wanted to honor my team again as well, the ladies that have supported me so that I could support you through this crazy ride that we've been on. It's been 4 days together, but as I said, it's been months and months and months in the making. A big shout out to my whole team, and a big shout out to all of you. I'm going to go now and take my makeup off. Oh, someone had asked me about what skin products I use. I'll do a post on that. So important. I've completely changed everything that I use. Hair and skin. I think it's for skin. I hope you've enjoyed. I love you all. I wish you the best night. I hope I've answered all your questions. I hope this is valuable. And no matter what you decide, whether you're joining me in Hormone Balance School, whether you are stopping here and just taking this information and running with it, I really just wish you feeling so much better. I just want you to get your mojo back. I want you to have the energy, all the things that you envision for yourself as the best for you. That's what I want for you. And yeah, I'm going to go now because I'm getting super emotional again. Sending so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll speak to you soon.